Rob Gronkowski is retiring. The greatest tight end of all time, Mike, in my opinion. There's been a lot of other greats. I know Kellen Winslow and Tony Gonzalez, and we love Heath Miller in Pittsburgh. But in my opinion, Gronkowski is the greatest to do it at the tight end position. Wanted to see if you had any personal experiences with Gronk, because I do have one story.
Sasquatch. I don't know if anybody ever saw Sasquatch, but I've seen him a few times. His name is Rob Gronkowski. That's exactly what his name was. So there always have been an in the woods kind of sighting. And if you can just look up Sasquatch, they say he's about Rob Gronkowski height, size, weight, and speed. I've tried to hit this man a few times. And what I did was I started around his waist and I slid to around the bottom of his shoestring. That's how big and strong Sasquatch is. And I held on for dear life. That's exactly what I did. But the Hall of Fame, Rob Gronkowski, he did a hard 11 years. And when I say a hard 11 years was when we first got into the league, the game, the rules were slowly changing into helping the defenseless guys getting hit in the head from us at the time to going below the knees. And Rob made that transition. That's exactly what he did. He was one of the only few who did both. And what I mean by both was he was able to hold his point from the run blocking, and he was able to come out and make plays receiver. And if you watch Tom Brady at his highest peak, at his good moments, when it came down to clutch time and he was looking for a particular guy, it was Rob. You know, he got Rob out of retirement the first time. Obviously, Rob retired his second time. I don't think Tom could have got him out on this one. I think he's having too much fun right now, but he paid his dues. He did everything. But when you talk about Rob, the first thing, people haven't seen Rob in person. He looks, and I've never seen Sasquatch, but I think Rob Gronkowski is Sasquatch to the T.
I love that. I absolutely love that. You made me laugh to where I forget what I'm even going to say. I honestly didn't believe this news today until I saw Tom Brady tweeted about it. And it's like, okay, Gronk is going to retire up until Brady and the Bucs need him late in the season. So we'll see. But I will say this. I had a good buddy of mine, his older brother played college football with Rob Gronkowski at the University of Arizona. And I'm going to tell the story because honestly, we'll tag Gronk and see if the story is true. But when Gronk was at the University of Arizona, I guess he had a rib injury of some sort that came from a house party to where Gronk and his boys decide that they're going to set up the slip and slide, Ike. And at this party, they said, hey, we're going to do the slip and slide. And, you know, Gronk seems like the type of guy where if he's going to do something, he's going to jump with both feet in. So I guess he goes on the slip and slide, ends up injuring his ribs. I guess he cracked a rib, Ike, at this party. But if he decides to tell his coaches, there's going to be hell to pay later. So I guess at the next practice, he tells the guy across from him during the scrimmage, hey, I'm going to go down and have an injury, like make this look legit. And sure enough, he ends up going down. And when they ended up, I guess he ended up missing several games at Arizona. But I mean, look, it's happened decades ago, ends up being a draft pick, Bleav in the second round. And now he's going to be headed to Canton in 5 years now that he's decided to hang it up. But Rob Gronkowski and the slip and slide at the University of Arizona, I want to verify if that's actually true, but I have it on good word that this is something that actually happened to him when he was in college at the University of Arizona.
I mean, you can just look at Rob now. You know, he's a big kid. The dude enjoys life. He has fun. He gets Tom Brady out his element. You know, the first time we really seen Tom smile and joke was, you know, when Tom came to Tampa and they had their own show between Rob and Tom and they feet in the pool and they doing interviews against each other. Like, that's how Rob just puts you in the element to where you just feel free and you're not worrying about what the world says about you. That's just Rob. You can just tell by looking at from afar. Now, when it comes down to partying and kicking it, you want to be around him. He's the life of the party. So I think that story is true as hell. Now, when it comes down to football, ain't no fun about it. You want him to be on your team, not going against him. So shout out to Rob Gronkowski, Hall of Fame career. We'll see him in Canton in 5.